Welcome to UCR.
I was quite nervous for my interview, as of course the interview process is quite important, but when the interview commenced there was no need to be nervous at all.
You applied to UCR and now you've been told you have an interview. So what can you expect? It's an opportunity for you to find out more about UCR and for us to find out whether you are the type of student who will thrive here.
To prepare for my interview, I looked over my application documents, I looked over my motivation letter, and I looked at what I might want to do at UCR.
Reading again my motivational letter just to make sure that what I'm going to say is exactly what I wrote in the letter. And of course also think about why do I want to come here to UCR and all the reasons that really UCR sticks out for me.
We're looking for students who want to study broadly and deeply. That means that you will have many different interests. So we'll be asking you about what you wrote in that letter of motivation. Why do you like those particular subjects? And what about subjects that you've never studied before? How do you know that you'll like them? And what about challenges? Are you open to trying out new things? Because university is about learning, about finding your passions with academic and extracurricular. So we'll want to know what your passion is. We'll talk about the subjects that you've done at school. We're particularly interested in hearing about research that you may have done. How did you go about the research? What was it about that particular subject that drove you to find out more about it? We want students who are curious. How are you going to satisfy your curiosity?
The question that I was not expecting was, what can I do for the UCR community?
If I liked Middleburg so far, because I was there in person, so I sort of got to see what the buildings looked like.
To me the interview really felt more like a conversation where not only could UCR figure out if I would fit to them, but also I could figure out whether I would fit to UCR. So I could ask questions about, or that maybe weren't clear yet from what I've had already known, to really make sure that from both sides it's a good fit.
UCR is a small, tight-knit community. It's an academic community, but it's also a social community. So one of the things we'll want to know from you is, how are you going to contribute to that community? For example, are you interested in sports? Well, what type of sport? And are you willing to teach others that sport? Or would you like to do drama or music or theatre?
I really enjoyed it because I felt that I was having really one-on-one time with the person who I was being interviewed by.
I experienced the interview quite well. It was more of a matching conversation to see if UCR was a match for me and if my personality and my quirks also matched UCR.
During the interview, which lasts about 30 to 45 minutes, we'll ask you many different questions, and there's a really good opportunity for you to find out more about UCR. Following the interview, the person who did the interview will write up the questions that you've asked and the questions that we've asked you. Then the whole file goes to somebody else on the admissions team who looks at everything yet again. And then we send you a letter. Either we invite you to come to UCR, or we feel that you may need to reapply, or that perhaps UCR is not the place for you.
A tip I have for people applying to UCR right now is not to stress too much about the interview, because I know I really was. I thought it was some sort of exam, like an interrogation, but it turned out to be a conversation basically with my interviewer.
Say and write and convey what feels right, really what you think, what you want. Ask a lot of questions, really everything that's unclear you should ask about. So yeah, that you also can make sure that UCR fits to you, and not only that UCR can make sure that you fit to UCR.
Don't stress your grades as much in your motivation letter, but stress your motivation, as that is what they are actually looking for, motivated students.
But let's be positive. If we send you a letter of invite, you have a maximum of 2 weeks to accept our invitation. And when you do, we'll send you more information on how to enroll. And then you can get excited about starting your studies at UCR.